Welcome to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, the Evening Moose, and before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor Divisions Brigade Camps, or its just other subsidiaries, strictly those expressing them. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We have a great show for you planned where we're going to be continuing to catch up on the news that we have missed the past couple weeks as we did last week, as well as talk about some more recent news. So how is everybody doing? As you can tell, I'm still dressed in my work attire. I just got off work not 20 minutes ago, came straight here, straight to get on the show. So I am blessed and very blessed the fact that I thought of the fact that how busy my day was going to be and went ahead and uploaded the news. Never more thankful for that because, meetings never run long. But here we are. A very, very tired moose because working for a living sucks. I've been working full time. Well, I work full time, but getting to set your own schedule, my gosh, that was nice. Oh gosh, I miss it already. I get to technically make my own schedule now, but now that I'm not a farmer, I still am a farmer. I still work at my family's farm, but now I have a full-time job on top of that, and my gosh. I had someone come and set up a meeting today after my business closes. But we're just starting out, so I, of course, stayed late to help them, hence why I didn't get off until a couple minutes ago, because normally I'm out the door around 4 or 5. Not today, though. I got to leave at 6:40 and drove straight here for this episode. So if I am a bit tired, that's happening more and more each episode, isn't it? Y'all have seen like the downfall of an energetic child to a young adult that's like, man, gosh, I'm tired. And meanwhile, the whole audience is like, you're tired? I guess I can blame it on my sleep schedule. I don't really have a good sleep schedule. I don't sleep well. Last night, specifically, I didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning, and I had to be up in a couple hours. So I just kind of been grinding my teeth all day. But, oh, gosh. Chuck's right. Welcome to adulting. I always knew it'd suck. That's kind of why I put it off. See, I'm not one of those kids that was like, man, I can't wish till I was an adult. I said that in high school, and then I got into college, and I got wise. I was like, no, taxes, all that. Yeah, no, insurance. Insurance sucks. Yesterday, I was past due for an eye checkup. And I haven't done it because, of course, no one gets into farming for the money. you get into it because you love it. And while I loved it, yeah, I can confirm that, especially when you're also sending money for classes or the SCV or a couple other projects that it's a love project. It's not really a financial project. Whew, yeah, so I was just like, man, I really don't feel like paying for an eye appointment. How important is an eye appointment? And then my eye doctor finally said, Harrison, your eyes get progressively worse every year. You need to come in. And I was like, fine. And I finally, I had just gotten paid, went to the eye doctor and got a lovely bill. That was brutal. Nothing better than, going somewhere just after you got paid and figure out it takes the majority of that paycheck away. That was painful. But I am a little less energetic as time goes on. When I was in college, it's easy to be energetic. I could sleep until 4 or 5 and hop on the show and get the show ready, and boom, here I am. Now that I'm working all day and doing farm work, and then you add in my other responsibilities, my gosh, there's not enough time in the day, and just things keep going. No, I need glasses now, Jason. My doctor was like, you are blind as a bat, and I am. So yeah, I've already skipped a step. Instead of needing glasses as I got older, I needed glasses all the way back in middle school. I'm blind, bad blind. I couldn't see you if you were right here, Jason. But luckily, the good Lord made eye contacts, and I do have glasses. I need to get a new pair, but they charged me enough yesterday, so I was like, I'm good, man. I'd rather, um, I'd rather eat and pay my bills on time than get a new pair of glasses I don't think I need. But you know what they say: you go to the doctor, they're going to find 15 things wrong with you. But I will say, I do have a great eye doctor. She is a very nice lady. Always treats me right. Always, Mr. Dawes, it's good to see you again. And I always tell her, please don't call me Mr. Dawes. I already feel older than I need to. Because I just a preference, because everybody always gives the jokes. You're not old. I know I'm not. I'm not even in my 30s yet. But I will say I am old when you compare me to a lot of people in my generation that I hang out with. A lot of the people I hang out with, there's a couple I'm 5 or 6 years older than. And so I'm the old man of the group. And this year, everybody's been getting a kick at it because I've been like, man, I'm tired. But of course, that's just working a job. But I will say this, I never gave GCB credit. And if you guys tell him about this episode, you tell him about this clip, tell him that I've said something nice, I'll deny it. And I can edit out part of the broadcast if I want to. So remember that. I'll give him credit. I don't know how he used to get on the show and be so energetic. As I said, it's very easy when you're a college student. The only thing you don't have as a college student is money. So you just have fun doing stupid stuff like playing with sticks or having a fire. And gosh, it was so much easier when I was younger to come on here and just be like, oh, welcome to Look Around the Confederation. But no, not anymore. Oh gosh. No, Derek. Thank you for that, Derek. I don't need a fundraiser for my blindness. Luckily, as I said, the new job is starting off pretty well. And I was able to afford everything. And of course, I have a great family that would do it if I asked, and I have asked. I'm not. I'm man enough to say, yeah, I've looked at my father and been like, hey, I cannot afford this. Just give me a couple hundred, and that's honestly one of my favorite things my dad does is just like anything, me and him work together at the farm. We are traveling all across the South for the SEV and the SAR now. We spend a lot of time together, probably more than most father and son duos do, especially at my age. I'm at the age where a lot of kids in their 20s are just running around like they're a chicken with their head cut off because they're starting new careers, they're getting married, having kids. That's understandable. But I do all that, but I get to spend a lot of time with my father. I'm blessed to have that. But whenever we do get in arguments, because that's what happens when you get close together and you spend a lot of time together, you get in arguments, he'll always hit me with oh, I'm sorry. How is the food in your stomach? The clothes on your back? You enjoy them contacts? Well, I got you them contacts. And it's always funny after the fact because now I've started doing it to him. And I do it by sneaking paying because he won't let me. So I'll sneak in something like I'll go buy farm supplies. And, while he's feeding his dog, I'm like, you like that dog? I fed that dog. And then he'll, point to the 15 things he's paid for. But that's just part of the fun. But yeah, no, gosh, working for a living, I'm tired. Someone mentioned the fact that they think I'm balding. I do know my hairline's retreating. I haven't thinned, but it has backed up some. It used to be a lot more down to earth, and now it's a bit up here. That happens. I figured I was going to lose my eyebrows and my hair. My grandmother doesn't. She draws on her eyebrows, and I figured that's happening. So not only will I be bald more likely one day, I probably won't have any eyebrows. And so if this show lasts for 50 seasons and, y'all get to see me in my 60s, and y'all are going to point back to, how, 50 years ago, you pointed out the fact that I pointed out the fact I wouldn't have eyebrows. I ask that you don't. Let me lie and say I have eyebrows. Yeah, no, Victor, I have to remember that myself. I was never one of those kids. When I was in school, everybody was talking about how the first time, they challenged their parents as teenagers or in their 20s. And I'm just like, just tell them you don't agree. You grown man. Why are you staring at your dad like that? I wasn't stupid enough to do that. I would just be like, I don't know if I agree, Daddy. And we'd both debate our cases, and whoever has the better case wins the argument. Or if he doesn't feel like arguing, he'll just be like, well, I'm your father. Doesn't really bother me. I mean, I can just get up and leave. And me and him will talk about it tomorrow because we work so close together. And it'll be like nothing happened. I never understood that. But my father could stop a mama grizzly bear just by staring at her. I do agree with that. There has been many times. There's only one time I ever talked back to my father, and he didn't have to say anything. The look he gave me was enough for me to be like, not doing that again. I was horseback. I competed in agriculture with 4-H. I was a horse rider, and I remember I was training one day, and he said something, and I said something, and it was just one of those quick things that came out. And I remember the look he shot me, and I remember being like, you know what? I think I'm just going to get off this horse and call it today and do whatever you say. I was 17, 18 at the time, and I remember the look he gave me. That is enough to scare anybody. I don't care how old you are. You respect your mama and daddy in the South. All of a sudden, I remembered all those times that he got on to me. I was 5 years old all over again. I'm man enough to admit it. I was like, no. I got down off that horse, and I apologize. And luckily, he let it slide. And I've never done that again. Again, disagreements happen. I don't know if it's ever gotten really heated. We kind of just end it before it gets there. But yeah, no, I'm old. Not compared to any of y'all. I love y'all, by the way. But to my friend group, I'm looking forward to hopefully it slows down as the business gets more footing under it. And then, of course, I can get stable with my clients, and hopefully I won't be working until 6:40 before a show ever again. That was a long day. Yeah, no. Chuck says he still has his hair and his eyebrows. I'll confirm back with you in about 10, 15 years. We'll see. I'll have my eyebrows till I'm in my 60s and 70s. I have a feeling, but also have a gut feeling I'm going to lose them. Nothing but, just my great grandmother lost hers. My grandmother lost hers. I could see it happening very easily. Congrats, Ryan. Ryan will be 51 in August. Again, it's just going back a little bit. It's just back farther than it was in high school. I don't know anybody that's really. I know maybe one or two people from high school that look the same. The rest of us look like we've aged. Some people look like they aged like milk in the sun. That's me. I'm in that category. If you look at high school pictures of me, I look rough now. Again, the hairline has definitely went back. And there's some people that age that look better than they did in high school. Sadly, I'm not in that category. And there's like one or two people that look the exact same, which is actually creepy. But we all change in high school, so yeah. I don't think I'm going bald. I'm hoping I'm not going bald. My father went bald about 5 years before my current age. So in his early 20s, I'm in my late 20s now. So I'm hoping that I keep it. I've seen myself bald. I shaved my hair off in middle school. Wasn't a good look for me. So let's hope. Let's hope. Yeah, I already have glasses. I am starting to take care of myself better, Victor. Like I said, for a long time, I didn't really take care of myself too well. Simply because you're just young. You don't really think about that stuff. And as I said, this year when I turned 27, it kind of hit. Not to mention when we started this show, I was 20, 21. That's hard to believe. I was in my early 20s and now I'm knocking on 30. But you just don't really think about that stuff in your early 20s. And like all of a sudden in your late 20s, it hits you. Man, I haven't had a checkup in Lord knows how long. Only he would. I also know that, I was like, man, my eyes are getting worse. I probably need to go get checked up again. I probably need to strengthen my glasses and my contacts. And then being like, yeah, I'm a bit overweight. By a bit, I mean a lot. You guys can't tell because I enjoy the baggy clothes lifestyle. I don't care what anybody says. I enjoy it, but I'm actually quite large. There's a couple pictures from reunion last year. You could really tell the difference. Them button downs showed no mercy. So I'm working on that. I'm working on my health. I came to the conclusion that, I'd rather worry about my health now than have to worry about my health in my 50s and it'd be more serious. So I actually am starting to take better care of myself. I'm dieting. As I said, I'm starting to go to the doctor more to get checked up on stuff like that. I'm covered in moles. I gotta get checked out for skin cancer every now and then because I'm susceptible to it because of the moles. Which, newsflash, I didn't know that until a couple years ago, and I didn't care about it until this year. It's just part of growing up. You start taking more responsibility over stuff that you didn't really. If you want to see how bad I've aged, I've actually, so you could tell I've been through 3 phases now in my life. Well, 4 if you count childhood. But when I'm counting adult phases, how I've aged the last 8 years, I have aged, as I said, like milk in the sun. Oh my gosh, I feel bad for whoever marries me. They're never going to be able to like, man, look at my husband. They're going to be like, hey, your husband? Isn't he shooting a bit above his weight class? And the answer is probably going to be yes. Because I have aged horribly. I was editing the other day for the show. And, I found a picture from me in high school. And I was like, oh my gosh, my hairline's moved back. Of course, I was severely underweight in high school. I didn't eat much. Shocker to everybody that knows me now. So I gained a lot of weight in college. So you can honestly tell the age difference between me in high school and me in college. But I also have aged a lot since my early 20s to my late 20s. I look very different. Case in point, I'm not asking for y'all to do this. Please don't, actually. I know Victor will because Victor likes annoying me. So we'll see what happens. But I was looking through some of the first episodes of SCV Chat, and I found this picture of me, clean face. No, my bags under my eyes weren't big. Obviously, I've actually slimmed down a bit, but it wasn't very noticeable. I was overweight back then. Whoo, man. That'll make you feel bad in a heartbeat. Go check out season 1 of SCV Chat if you can find it. It's kind of hard to find that season, that and part of season 2. We didn't really start saving our episodes till season 3. But go check out season 1 if you can of SCV Chat, and you'll look at me and be like, what happened? Connor and Adam have not changed. Well, Adam's a bit grayer. But yeah. Yep, time flies. Time flies for sure. Congratulations, Victor, on that weight loss. Yeah, no, I have lost about 20 pounds so far. I still have another 30 to go. And then I'll be at the weight my doctor wants me to be at. Robert, the Arkansas Division Commander, good to see you. Yeah. 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 The only thing that stops hair from falling out is the floor. Yeah. Yeah. No, sadly, as I said, I don't think I'm losing it yet. Is it a possibility? Yes. Yeah. You know, my great grandfather was as bald as my dad. My dad's bald. Now, on my mother's side, there's a different problem, which I'll take this, is everybody grays very quickly on my mom's side. I would love to keep every bit of hair on my head and be completely gray by 35 than lose my hair again, because I've shaved my hair before. It doesn't look good. So, and I see Jason's question. No, not really. My thing is I got dirty blonde hair, or dirty brown hair, so it's blonde and brown. Of course, my facial hair is actually a mixture of black and blonde. So people have mistaken me for graying, especially right here. They'll be like, "Oh man, I can't believe you're graying." No, it's actually blonde. Can't help that. For some reason, my facial hair is just black and blonde. I wish it matched my hair. I'm one of those people that annoys when things don't match like that, but here we are. So yeah, my facial hair doesn't match my hair. So I guess to answer you, I could be graying in my beard and not notice, because it does. Gray and blonde can kind of look similar, especially when you're colorblind like I am. So the answer could be I could be. I don't think I am. If I am, it's not really showing up anywhere other than here and a bit in my mustache. I'm not graying anywhere up here yet. As I said, I'd rather gray than lose my hair. That would honestly, that would hurt me more than anything. Yeah, no. As I said, I told one of my friends when I was younger, man, I'd rather have to dye my hair brown for 5 or 10 years than have no hair to dye. And now I'm at the age, if I grade tomorrow, I'd rock it. I don't care. If I grade tomorrow, I'd be happy. If it stays, if my hair stays and I gray, I'm okay with it. You know, you take what you can get. And I would love to keep my eyebrows, because my eyebrows are also black. And so it will be very noticeable when they are gone. If they do leave me, they haven't shown any signs of leaving me yet. But, you never know. You never know. My grandmother kept her eyebrows till she was in her 70s. So we always made jokes that she was going to follow her mama, my great grandmother, and lose her eyebrows, and then boom, it happened. And it was like, ooh. I messed with her about it. She might be watching the show, so I might be actually getting in trouble with my grandmother. Who knows? If so, I love you, Granny. But yeah, no, that happens in my family. So my family, I'm either going to gray early or lose my hair. That's the two genetic pools I'm working in, because my grandfather on my mom's side, he grayed very early. His first son, he's not technically graying early. He grayed a little bit, and then it's kind of matured now. He grayed in his beard first, which I guess you can make the argument, if this isn't blonde, maybe again I'm wrong and it's gray, then maybe I have those genetics working for me. But both him and his younger brother both grayed in the beard before they started graying up here in their late 30s, early 40s. Which again, I'll take that. But then you go look at my father's side, and almost everybody but my grandfather bald, like with a capital B. And it all happened when they were young men. I think my great-grandfather balded in his early 30s, maybe a bit younger, maybe his late 20s. And my father balded in his early 20s to mid-20s. I know the only reason I know that is because I know the age where he went completely bald because I was there. So, all right, guys, we have been catching up, joking around, talking about Moose going bald for a while now. No one wants a bald Moose. Let's be honest here. How much would the viewership decline when I'm bald? Let's just put that out there. Maybe I'm kind of like Hank Hill, and like maybe there's like a tattoo on the back of my head. So who knows? I actually do have a scar on the back of my head that my hair covers up, and it's a pretty wicked scar, I'm told. So whenever I do go bald, y'all can all just witness that, and it looks like I've just been attacked with a baseball bat in the back of the head. But hopefully it stays around. My hair is naturally curly, so I'm hoping, and that's from my mother's side. So I'm hoping, because the rest of the Dolls men, their hair's straight as a board, but my hair is naturally curly. So I'm hoping that I get those genetics. I'll take the no eyebrows over the no hair any day of the week. Now I'm going to say that it's going to happen, and you all are going to forget about this conversation. But on to the news. Oh, yeah, we need to get on to the news. It's been good catching up with everybody, though. But I also didn't greet everybody, so I'm going to go and say hi to everybody. That's kind of one of my favorite things about the show. Wilford from Virginia, good to see you. Johnny from Missouri, good to see you. Wes, good to see you. Derek, good to see you. Al from Camp 155, good to see you. Past Commander-in-Chief and current ATM Councilman, the Lone Ranger Chuck McMichael, good to see you, brother. Floyd, good to see you from Arkansas. Jason from the Turner Ashby Camp in Virginia, good to see you. David Pope, good to see you. It threw me off. You updated your profile picture. Camp 87, good to see you. Lloyd, good to see you. The Kentucky Division Commander was only 8 minutes late tonight. Everybody give him a round of applause. Good to see you, brother. Of course, I've been talking to Victor a good bit. Good to see you, Victor. Ryan, good to see you from the Carthage Camp in Missouri, Camp 2327. Jason Lloyd, good to see you. I think, yep, I got you. Let's see here. Alan from the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308. Charles Ferre, good to see you. Dr. Sandy Mitchum in the chat, good to see you. 5th Brigade, good to see you, Keith. Trying to make sure I got everybody. All right, I think I got everybody. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll get back and we'll get in the news. But before we can do that, we need to thank our sponsors. So let me get everything pulled up real quick. I'm still kind of getting over what I had last week. It's been kind of rough, but luckily I'm getting better every day. But our first sponsor is, of course, Dr. Chris Cummins. If you were sick like me last week and probably still need to go, why don't you go check out Dr. Chris Cummins in Oxford, Mississippi, past surgeon-in-chief, life member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. He will make you feel good so much you're going to want to skip that apple day so you can go see the doctor. And he'll treat you with some good old-fashioned Southern hospitality. Whether it's knee pain, stabbing your eye with a stick, or just some type of sickness you can't get rid of, go see Dr. Chris Cummins, MD of Oxford, Mississippi. He'll make you feel good at his new address, 105 Heritage Drive, Suite 111. And go check him out today. Of course, next up is 31st Regiment Engraving at www.31stregengraving.com. Go check them out. They have a lot of great stuff like this right here. They have this, my memorial band for my ancestor. I wear it every day to remind me why I do this and keep me motivated in the fight for the cause. And of course, I always get to keep them close by. Wear it to work, wear it every day. Get yours today so you can have them for National Reunion. And of course, you can see some other stuff he has. He has some bottle openers, some earrings, some Jefferson Davis earrings. That all looks great. So make sure to go check him out today. And next up is Beauregard's Tailor, a family-driven business proudly offering authentic war between the state T-shirts, flags, lapel pins, and so much more, crafted with exceptional research and unmatched quality. I actually have some merchandise I bought for him. So I bought this from him. This is the 11th Mississippi flag, the University Grays, that is made up of the Ole Miss students and professor. So this is it. When I was graduating a couple weeks ago, shout out to my lovely class ring. I got at first I got a full flag from him, and I flew it at the place I was staying in Oxford for when I was graduating. And this is actually the one I have two more because the other two are of course a lot more flat because this one's a bit curved because I carried it around in my pocket all day when I graduated, and I carried it around that Saturday and Sunday too. But this is one of his stickers. It's very high quality, very nicely made. I'm probably going to put the other two somewhere and keep this one on my desk because it reminds me of the University Grays, my people when I was at Ole Miss, if you will. There's still a lot of people at Ole Miss that love these boys for what they did for their country and how they went up to defend Ole Miss, Mississippi, and the South. So, yeah, I got this from Beauregard's Tailor .shop. Next bit up is the museum at Market Hall in South Carolina, home of the Confederate Museum since 1899. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is $10 for adults, $3 for kids 6 to 12. Kids 5 and under are free. If the flag is out, they are open. They charge only $5 shipping, and their gift shop is phenomenal, people. So go check it out at www.museumatmarkethall.com. So go check them out today. Here's some of the stuff they have in their museum. They have flags. I love flags, beautiful flags. This beautiful painting of General Beauregard, military uniforms, a cannon, and so much more. So go check them out immediately if you are in their area. And our last sponsor is the Sam Davis Home and Museum out in Tennessee. Go have a creekside picnic, a walk through the herb garden, discover a nature trail, bring your dog for a game of catch, visit the 19th century smokehouse, kitchen, slave cabins, and more. Visit the final resting place of the Confederate boyhood hero, Sam Davis, and several of his family members. Go inside and watch a film about Sam Davis, explore the museum, participate in scavenger hunts, tour the historic home, visit the gift shop for souvenirs, handmade and local made goods. Give yourself at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully enjoy your experience at this wonderful museum. And go check them out at www.samdavishome.org. We want to thank our sponsors for keeping the lights on here at SCV Chat and remind everybody you can help us in reclaiming the narrative 1 week at a time, get behind the scenes content, really help the show out, and so much more. If you go join our Patreon for $2.50 a month, you get to feed a moose tier as just general support. For $10 a month, you become a real chat head. You get, of course, all the behind the scenes content. You get your name scrolling at the bottom of each episode and your own exclusive show, and so much more. And of course, for $30 a month, you can get exclusive merchandise that not even me and Connor, the owners of SCV Chat, will get. And of course, for $8 a month, you can sponsor our show like our wonderful, great sponsors. So go check this out and so much more at scvchat.com, the Support Us tab. And I'll see you back for the news after this quick commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Welcome back to Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, Evening Moose. Always enjoy that commercial break. And of course, shout out to our sponsors for making us here. Makes no sense. But, they're the reason we're here. That's what I meant to say, That didn't happen. All right. So we do have some news to kind of get into. The Captain David Williams and Sarah Holmes Williams monument dedication and memorial service held at Old Mountain Williams Church Cemetery in Burgar, North Carolina, is Sunday, May 31st at 2 p.m. It is hosted by the Sons of Confederate Veterans, Captain David Williams, and Holly Shelter Volunteers Camp. So go check them out. Make sure if you haven't already, go check out Reunion, the 331st SCV National Confederate Reunion will be coming up in July, and it is important that you reach out now. All right. We are going to be jumping into some news now. Just let me get everything situated. And our first bit of news is going to take us to Tennessee. As the John Hunt Morgan Camp 270 held a Heritage Days event in Manchur's Station, Tennessee. Or not in, but in the state of Tennessee. We called the ambulance and set up a fly to display the medical instruments. The event was canceled on Tuesday and Wednesday due to weather, but we had a beautiful wet weather on Wednesday. Here is the picture of that event. The event was hosted for local schools and homeschool students in the area. It was also open to the public as well. Estimated 700 plus were in attendance. It was a very busy day and a great time was had by the kids and all in attendance. So go check that out. That is a great event right there. And I believe they told us last week that they're going to be trying to host more of those. So you see those in your area, why don't you go support them? That is just absolutely phenomenal. And I want to thank that camp for hosting that event and hopefully see it spread across Tennessee. I know they're doing a couple more this year, I think. So if you see them, Go support them because that's an awesome event. Again, 700 people are exposed to the truth about the war between the states and the Sons of Confederate Veterans. That is a massive win, people. And I congratulate the camp for putting in that hard work. The same camp sent this in. They also hosted another event on April 17th to East Hardin Elementary in Kentucky for the day to participate in the event. We had approximately 500 kids and teachers that joined in for the history lesson. And they said they were so busy, there's not a lot of pictures from this event. So that is, honestly, it's a great reason not to have pictures. They were so busy with 500 kids. So let's do some quick math. So a couple weeks ago, they did an event where 700 people were at, and now they've done an event where 500 people attended. That's 1,200 people that were exposed to the truth about our Confederate ancestors and the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Again, my hat is off to Camp 270 for hosting these two great events. Thank y'all for doing this, and thank y'all for keeping the fight on in Kentucky and Tennessee. Keep up the great work, and thank you very, very much. Thank you, Floyd. He said it's not the hair that makes the man. We're going to shoot over to Texas for our next bit of news. As the W.W. Hartsteel Camp 314 of Marshall, Texas flagged and placed solar lights supplied by the camp on 114 Confederate and 32 Union soldiers' graves at Oakwood Cemetery in Jefferson, Texas. This is them by, of course, the grave marker of Colonel John Buke. Of course, you can actually see the SCV logo there. So thank you, gentlemen, for putting that up. And, of course, here is some of those solar lights that we were talking about. Beautiful event. This was done because the nighttime tour of Oakwood is part of the 3 days of battle for Jefferson that was held May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The third picture is the camp pose at the tombstone provided by the camp for Colonel John Burke, Lee's favorite spy. He broke his tombstone. His broken tombstone was laying flat on the ground in front of the new monument. We dedicated it in 2023. So thank you, gentlemen, for not only putting out these beautiful lights so people can go honor these veterans. Let me get that up there. Sometimes the platform just doesn't want to work with me some days. Of course, here is the lunar, and then, of course, there they are again. Let me see if I can move some of the stuff so you can see his original tombstone there in front of the monument the camp placed for him. Again, the W.W. Hartsteel Camp is a very active camp in Texas, and I thank them for all their hard work. Yeah, Victor, that camp was able to reach, and I think about a month, maybe a month and a half. I could be wrong. I think it's just a month, though. 1,200 people. That's impressive. That's what we need. We need to get out to the public more. Next up is the Turner Ashby Camp out of Virginia. So we're going to be moving over to Virginia now. And the Valley Guards 10th Virginia Infantry did an open house and living history event at General Stonewall Jackson's HQ, marking the anniversary of Jackson's 1862 Shenandoah Valley campaign. Interacted with a lot of visitors at the site. Also, Winchester changed 72 times during the event. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. 72 times during the War for Southern Independence. So that is just wow. I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me that. But, of course, the Turner Ashby Camp out of Virginia have been doing a lot of great work as well recently. And so I also thank y'all for going and showing some love for General Jackson. Good to see that. That is for sure. I mean, we're blessed to have a lot of great active camps in the organization, and that's what I love about this show is we're highlighting that and showing it to y'all, showing you what they're doing, what works, what you could be doing and works. Because how we win this thing is getting out in our community and making sure we're not the bad guys, we're not shown as the villains, because that's how we're painted, and our ancestors are painted. So these camps are doing a great job of going out there and showing people who we are. Next up, we're going to shoot over to Louisiana, and we're going to talk about the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana. They manned a recruiting booth at the Poke Salad Festival in Louisiana. The Taylor Camp has been doing this event since 1996. I wasn't even on this earth in 1996. That's how long they've been doing it. So again, thank y'all for getting out in the community. It looks like we had a good people there present. Of course, you can see the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV, Past Commander-in-Chief Paul Gramlin Jr. there. And thank y'all. Keep up the great work. I hope you guys had a great recruiting day. Always love seeing recruiting tables. Sometimes you're really just planting the seed when you do those. You might get a couple people, you might not. But it is going to be interesting to see just how, or it would be interesting to see just how many people, hear about the Sons of Confederate Veterans at those recruiting tables and later join. Because I know a lot of times it's just planting the seed. I know you're overflowing with expendable cash. Just talked about how my eye doctor appointment cleared me out this week. Might as well drive up to Russellville and join us for the Kentucky Division reunion. I would love to attend other people's reunion. I hope to have that honor one day to attend other people's reunions. Sadly, right now it's not going to happen, but hopefully it's only 8 hours. Hop on it. Let me just see how much that costs just in gas real quick. Because I know how much it costs to fill up my vehicle. Whoo. Of course, we have now the mighty T-Rex, Jason Boshears, past Commander-in-Chief of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. He apologizes for being late. No, Jason, we're happy you're here. Oh, yes, please send in those pictures. It will be fun. Yeah, no, this weekend I have an SCV event, and then the weekend after that is a Mississippi Division reunion, so I'm slam-packed. Next bit of news. This is not really news, but they wanted to show everybody, so I thought it'd be cool. Here is Loy and Renee. I hate mispronouncing names. It's a pet peeve when people mispronounce my name, and I do it so much. They are at the William Wallace Monument in Scotland. Of course, Mr. Loy is wearing an SCV chat shirt. So I want to put that on the show and thank y'all for, of course, first supporting the show, but and also, going out and seeing these monuments. Thank you, and I hope you had a great trip. Yes, Jason, that is coming up in the news, I believe. I think so. I think I have it. Yes. Okay. Next bit of news is going to take us back to Missouri as the Major Thomas R. Livingston Camp 2327 out of Carthage, Missouri, dedicated 4 Southern Crosses of Honor on May 16th. Wow. 4. The Confederate veterans receiving the crosses are going to be listed below. They are Corporal Harper, Private John, Private Adams, or Private Adam, and Private William. We got Tennessee, Missouri, and Missouri represented. They had a great time. read some poetry, some biographies, prayers, shot fires, or a salute fired, Dixie sang, and Rebel yell shout out. That sounds like a phenomenal event to me right there. And I believe next up, we are going to Kentucky. So Kentucky's back in the news. Let's see what Kentucky was up to. Is that multiple Kentucky Division camps were on hand to assist in the Battle of Paris event recently in Paris, Kentucky. Thanks to Rick, Richard, and others for the invite, and it was a great weekend. Of course, you can see some of the cannon there. You can actually see the Tennessee 1st Lieutenant Division Commander, Rich Garcia, there. And, of course, just some lovely group pictures of the people of the Kentucky Division honoring their ancestors at a reenactment. And, again, thank you all so much for doing that. Next up in the news is we have an event coming up from the Turner Ashby Camp, 1567 of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, wanting to invite you to attend their 160th annual Confederate Memorial Day service Saturday, June 6th at 5 p.m. at Stonewall Cemetery in Winchester, Virginia. The speaker will be Mr. Steve French, and he'll be talking the death of Captain Richard Ashby. Music will be by Strings of the South in the Confederacy. Please contact them today and attend that event. Turner Ashby Camp does a lot. I'd love to see them have a good turnout because they are also in the news next as well as the Turner Ashby Camp and the Clayton Hatcher Camp was placing flags out recently at Green Hill Cemetery, Old Chapel, and other cemeteries around the Clark County, Virginia area for Memorial Day. Hope to see members at the Stonewall Cemetery celebration in a couple weeks get set up for Confederate Memorial Day on June 6th. So there is that. And they also sent in another picture. There they are. So thank y'all. Thank you for sending out all them flags and having a good time. Thank you very much. All right. And we're about to be wrapping up our news now as we give an update on Stone Mountain. So let me get everything pulled up. From the 1st Cannon Camp 1671 out of Georgia, they attended the Stone Mountain Memorial Association meeting. They had a lot of great support there, and so I'm very happy. They thanked the board for allowing the Georgia Division Confederate Memorial Service last month, where we honored our Confederate ancestors, those represented in the carving. I also stated that with Memorial Day this weekend, the carving should be clean because it honors American veterans and it's the park #1 attraction. Also addressed the need to trim the trees around the newer flagpoles so the flags can be properly seen and clean the surrounding monuments. They did have a bit of opposition there where they repeated the same arguments about removing all Confederate-related items from the park. The stupidity of going to a memorial park and asking them to take away the memorials. Derek Glover from the Tennessee Division spoke as well and covered many key points shared from the Georgia Division. Eric Cleveland spoke about why protesters were allowed to use bullhorns and other items during our service that they were supposedly not supposed to have. And they talked a bit more. But the biggest news coming from this meeting was the fact that they now have funding and plan to clean Stone Mountain. This picture includes 1st Lieutenant Commander Cannon in the cowboy hat, and he is also very happy and wanted to thank us for being interested in this. And, of course, we're interested in this at Stone Mountain. I'm happy to hear that Stone Mountain is getting cleaned, is getting treated well. And, of course, it is by the camps and the Georgia Division, or the camps in Georgia, and even some members of the Tennessee Division coming over and doing this great work. The Georgia Division's always been a very big protector of Stone Mountain, as they should be the biggest Confederate memorial in the world, the biggest Confederate monument. So I thank them for their hard work on that, and thank y'all for the hard work to get it cleaned. I can't wait to see it clean. I'm going to plan a whole new trip to Georgia just to see the beautiful monument. Again, the beauty of Stone Mountain is breathtaking. If you haven't been, I highly recommend you go. And when you're there, why don't you tell the park why you were there? Don't get disrespectful. Don't get mean. Just tell them, hey, the only reason I came today was because of that monument right there. It's a beautiful monument, great work. And we want to see it continue. So thank y'all for the hard work and keep it up. That is now officially all the news we have for this episode of Look Around the Confederation. We ask that you make sure to share this episode out and tune in Monday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. And make sure to send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com to be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. I've been your host, Ethan Moose. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, please share this episode out and share us some news. I love seeing news. Can't get enough of the great stuff that our camps are doing in this organization. I love getting news from the UDC, the OCR. Send it in. We are all in this fight together, and I would love to continue to see us thrive. Thank you all for tuning in. One last time, I didn't get anything from you, Victor. I covered your news last week. Did you send in something new? If you did, send it again. It wasn't in our email. Send it again, and we'll be able to cover it next week, Victor. I do apologize. It's not. I'm looking at the email right now. I do not see anything from you. So please send that again so we can cover it. Yes, if you're talking about the most recent thing I have is the Hunley Awards. We covered that last week. So go check it out. Now, of course, if I didn't cover it, feel free to email me and say, hey, guys, you guys this must slip through the cracks. I'm human, and I want to double check to make sure everybody's news was covered. I think it was towards the end of last week's episode. So, yeah, thank you, Victor. Keep sending in news, brother. And, of course, if we did miss something, send it in, and we'll cover it. Again, we want to thank our glorious Patreon members for subscribing and keeping the lights on here at SCV Chat. We could not do the show without them. The show would had to gone away by now without our glorious people that keep the show alive. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. And remember, chat heads, to stay Southern. Good night, everybody.